listeners to the We Can't Focus on Anything podcast. And if Luther were here, he'd say, because we can't. And I'd say, because we can't. That's how the intro goes. Anyway, this is not a normal episode. It is about 2 a.m. It is the 24th of July in the year 2026. And a friend of mine is in the studio, two friends actually, but I'm going to be having a conversation with one of them. And we are just going to be talking about life and shooting the shit. I hope you enjoy this. So, sit back and relax, and here we go. All right, so tonight my special guest is Breezy. She's in the studio with me. They are in the studio with me. Sorry, Breezy.
Okay.
And so we're just going to start. What do you want to start with? We can talk about philosophy, politics, religion.
Right, there's so much.
Yeah, exactly. Where do we start?
It's interesting that you mentioned religion. Like, I'm not religious. Not
Start
religious,
with the easy one.
But spirituality is a different thing, and I don't know. I have this it's a little bit I think maybe I don't know, a little bit Instagram witch white bitch kind of thing. But I believe that whatever force created the universe didn't create it, it became it. So that we are actually made of star stuff. That's pretty well common, and I just think that whatever force it was there, whatever it may mean, or what, I don't even know, could be just science and energy. But I think that is whatever that it just, I can only imagine that the only thing you'd want to do if you were a force that could do that is be everything, experience everything, and then take it all out of your own hands, basically, yeah, whatever force was the little dot, and then it became the Big Bang, and we're all part of it.
Yeah, I mean, it's a sensible position. I think it's good. I think it's mostly what I believe. The only difference is, on a technical side, is that, I don't know, is there really a difference between believer and spiritual, or like religion and spirituality? Because the real thing is both of y'all, both camps, you believe that there's something.
That there's something, I don't know what it is.
So what's diametrically opposed to you guys is an atheist.
And
you guys are kind of similar.
Yeah, it's I like the idea that we are all God, or that we all have a piece of whatever force that we, that created the universe. That we are it, and even one of my songs is about that, actually.
My atheism really comes from a position of ignorance, meaning I don't think we just know anything, so if I don't think I can know something, I'm not going to espouse there's something that exists that created me,
Yeah, it could be kind of agnostic sounding.
Right, but actually agnostic's a little bit different, so it doesn't line up with epistemology and philosophy, the theory of knowledge. So really the atheist is more like the skeptic and the...
because isn't it agnostic saying you literally don't care?
Yeah, it's basically that. There's Switzerland, there's
Yeah,
could be bothered,
I don't know for sure either way, and I don't give a fuck and don't ask about it.
Exactly.
Whatever, yeah. Which I respect. I had that position for a minute, for a moment, I don't know.
There's no experience I could have, really, because I would... So I guess the question people always ask themselves, I hope everyone asks themselves, right, is what would it take for me to start to believe the other way, right? So that there is a God, or for a believer that there isn't a God. You should have some sort of thing that can happen, right? Otherwise you're closed-minded.
Yeah, no atheist in the foxhole, right?
I don't know what experience I could possibly have, though, because I think if God came to me, I would just it's a delusion. I'm going to the hospital, before I believed it was God, I would take myself to the hospital.
And so you've never had an experience that felt
like
it
be
was
explained physically with stuff, my brain was thinking this because of that, and I've never had anything that seemed supernatural or phenomenal or whatever it's called, paranormal. I've never had a paranormal or supernatural feeling or experience, I don't think so. And if I did, like I said, I just wrote it off as mental illness or something.
Right.
I don't know.
Yeah.
It's just hard. That's what I'm saying. That's why as far as the position we're in epistemically, a position to know things about the underpinnings of the universe, we don't really know anything. We might have good ideas. You get lucky. I could have a lot of evidence that's right, and it could be right, but I'm not sure if we have enough evidence for a lot of things. And knowing whether or not there's a consciousness that exists above us. Like, that's hard to know unless you have direct experience with it. And then even if you do, they have to look at that experience, because human sensory experience is really unreliable.
Yeah, learning, like, with how much I follow philosophy and stuff, like, it's really amazing how little we know about human consciousness.
Oh my goodness, we know nothing.
We don't understand it at all.
I don't really I like Neil deGrasse Tyson, but I'm not like a super fan of his. But he does say this, and I agree with it. And he's like, you can tell how well we understand a topic by how many books there are on that topic. And so he says, look at how many physics books. You go in the library, there's like 3 physics books, because it's all decided, like Einstein. And he's like, but if you go and you look at books on consciousness, there's 4,000, because no one knows what the hell they're talking about.
Right.
So that's I thought that was a good point.
Yeah, that is a pretty good point.
We know nothing about. I mean, we know so little about the brain.
And now the AI is becoming such a force in society.
How are we gonna be able to create a consciousness when we don't even understand it?
It's an ethical nightmare. There's certain instances there's actually a Philosophy Tube video that's really good, and it's called AI is an ethical nightmare.
Oh shit. Philosophy Tube, go watch it. If you haven't seen it, if you haven't heard of it, it's a great channel on YouTube. The host is amazing and intelligent, and go watch it.
Yeah. Also, she's hot for all the.
I was gonna go there. I was gonna go there because I didn't want to sound horrible.
That's my dream woman right there. But no, But philosophy, it's a long established channel. It's been around, I think, 12 years now, and some very interesting topics there.
Definitely. Yeah. So, where were we from?
Spirituality.
Yeah,
but
talking about knowledge.
AI is interesting too, though.
Oh, AI. We're gonna go straight from religion to AI.
Well, I read this book series. It was like 10, 12 years ago, but it was really good. Called the Imperial Rack trilogy, and it was the protagonist in all three books was this character named Breck, and Breck was an AI that was in what's called an ancillary, which was like a singular human body, basically it's like a lobotomized human or whatever, but this is a whole different universe and all that. So a human body, but they're part of a ship, like a huge ship that was a big AI part. So they're part of it. They're just like a singular unit on this ship, but they're part of the ship. That's their whole brain. And then some kind of explosion or some shit happens, and they get broken off permanently from the ship. And so it's like the entire book trilogy is this AI navigating how to exist in a singular unit without being when they were once part of this gigantic brain, and that was a ship and a battleship.
That's funny. So they're toying around with the whole issue of personal identity and
identity. What it means to be human, what it means to be conscious, and by the end of it, there's a whole this planet has to basically make they have to figure out how to give AI or what kind of status AI should have and what kind of control over self-autonomy and all that stuff, and they have to argue for it, but to these translators from this alien planet that nobody understands, that has the power to demolish any other planet just with a snap of fingers, and they have to convince these translators, because it's the only way they can communicate, they have to convey why they should have their own status and their own sovereignty, basically. It's really interesting. It's really good, and it's really cool. This writer, Ann Leckie, she does this in all of kind of her writing, but everybody on the planet that they're on uses she pronouns.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it's pretty well.
Sounds lame.
They speak of that other planets have he, she distinctions and stuff, and they even they don't talk about parts, but they make mention of the fact that there are people on their planet that would be designated he or whatever, on other planets.
Do you mean use only those pronouns? Or?
Only she pronouns, yeah.
What would be the purpose of only using one set of pronouns?
Right, it gets confusing, to be honest, and they make mention of it.
If everyone's she, whatever, her, good God, throwing on my brain right now.
Yeah.
Anyway, if everyone's that, then what does it matter? You would never use that for a distinction.
Yeah, and and I think that this author just likes to kind of play with the idea of gender and like make it seem like kind of matriarchal, feminine in a way. Like, and another interesting part about these books is that there are no white characters. There's no white people. White exists, and that's why I think like that book trilogy got optioned as a TV series. Nobody picked it up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, that's actually 100% the way things are gonna go. Like, 200 years from now, no one's gonna be white. Like, what are you talking about?
Right? Like, yeah. I mean,
which would be great. No more racism. How can there be racism when everyone's the same race? Like,
I mean, yeah. It's like, yeah.
I mean, we all actually are the same race. There is no racism.
Race. I mean, white doesn't exist. Exactly. That's the funniest thing. Is like, literally, white is not a thing, and the fact that there's white.
Nah, we're just albinos.
Yeah, like we are. Yeah, it's like people should. I'm all down with having cultural heritage, but like.
Even
white isn't a culture.
Even that leads to in-group, out-group bullshit.
I mean, it's like cultural appreciation can quickly become cultural appropriation, can quickly become cultural separatism.
Exactly.
And that's where you get Nazis, you know what I mean?
That's where you get Nazis. You gonna fuck around and get Nazis. You want Nazis?
Yeah, and it's just like the fact that like there's like privilege and entitlement to a thing that's not even cohesive. Like there's no like. What does it mean to be white? Nothing. It doesn't mean fucking shit.
It means you're not you're not in the cool group, basically. That's really what it means. You're not in the cool group anymore.
Well, yeah, white people are.
White people are lame.
You know? Yeah.
We have been since about 1947. Since Jackie Robinson hit that home run.
Oh,
no, that's a freaking Shane Gillis joke. He talks about he's like, whites used to be cool. And he's like, remember when we used to be like, hey, see? He's like, it's the bottom of the first, the young black boy or whatever from Chicago's coming to hit. And then he talks about how he hits a home run, and like everyone stops talking like that from then on out. Like just in the middle of the game, just stops talking that way. So it was a bad retelling of the joke, but I promise Shane Gillis is funny.
Yeah, yeah.
Just hope he stays liberal.
I just wish
he
people
teeters on the edge of that shit.
Understand that the real divide is class divide, you know?
Oh, absolutely.
Absolutely. Yeah, it's like, I feel like regardless of putting race into it, I feel more camaraderie and more like solidarity with other poor people than I do like, a billionaire of any class or of any color, or whatever. Like.
Yeah, I mean, for sure, that's obvious, right? But I'm just thinking, like, kind of sucks too because I don't know, like, I don't want to be just. I don't want to hate a group of people because of how much money they have. That's the same thing as hating poor people.
Right, that's like, like it's like kind of you verge on the same, like creating the same problem, and I don't either, and I really don't. The only time it's a factor for me is like billionaires.
Because like you can't pick and choose.
I mean. Yeah, but like
maybe pedophile billionaires. I get behind that.
Sure. There's absolutely. And,
that way it's not about their money.
Like, with billionaires, it's like I don't hate on people who earn more money, but like there's no. It takes 32 years to count to 1 billion. That's
not even true. Let me see. We gotta look at Claude. Hold on.
Yeah. Ask. I bet like at a normal pace,
Well, I don't think you can do it in a human lifetime.
Mm-hmm.
How long does it take to count to 1 billion? I think it's gonna be like 43,000 years or something crazy. Nope, you were right. 31 years.
31.7 years.
Yeah.
Yeah, like
okay. So a billion seconds is 31 years. What's a million seconds? I heard a thing about this, right? Like people don't understand the difference between a million and a billion. Like your brain can't process it because look at 1 million seconds.
My guess is gonna be like 8 hours or something like that.
I think it's like 2 days or something.
Oh, okay. 1 million seconds. Okay. 11 days. Okay. Yeah. Jesus.
So the difference between a million and a billion is 11 days to 31 years.
Yeah, and that's what I mean. Okay, so like if you why would anybody need that much money?
No, you don't.
Right. And that's the thing. It's like I feel like it's almost like morally corrupt by nature to have that much and to hoard it and to not give it away immediately. Why do you want so much more than you need?
The only reasonable argument that I have ever heard that borders on reasonable is that the people we're talking about, most of their money is actually just, investment assets.
Right.
That, like, you can't really quantify it.
Right,
Yeah, it's not liquid, so it's not, it's not resource hoarding because it's in, banks and shit. Like,
yeah.
But that being said,
fucking money.
Yeah, that's too much money.
The fact that is even a thing, and that
because if you could take that money and give it to other people that don't have money, it seems like you're rising all time, or rising tides raise all shit.
Right, yeah. Yeah, it's like.
That's why they have to have assets, because if they were to liquidate all that money and turn it in, put it in.
Well, the thing is, if they liquidate the money immediately, if they were just to went to the bank and Elon's like, hey, I want all my money out of Tesla, he would crash the economy.
Yeah, absolutely. They don't that's the only 7% of the money that exists is on paper.
Yeah.
Yeah. There's no gold standard anymore. Long time. Actually, and that's the scarier part. Okay, if you take even the amount of money out of it, what about the Federal Reserve? And the fact that that they print, that it is a private bank that is in control of all the money. But they are. The Federal Reserve is a bank. No,
they don't act like a bank at all by function. I mean, it's the best way to.
The Federal Reserve, the Federal Reserve Act, and the fact that a bunch of anonymous billionaires actually do run the way our money. They set the interest rates. They set the fucking inflation.
But banks don't do that. They do something else. That's
yeah,
what I'm saying. So they're
the U.S. central bank.
Yeah. That's what they call it, but my argument is that it's not really. They don't do the same thing banks do.
Sure. Again, you can't open an account at the Federal Reserve. I get it.
And they don't hold money for anyone. So, and they don't actually print the money because that's treasuries.
Right. That's the.
They don't hold the money.
Yeah.
So they don't. It's a governing body for the bank industry is what it is. You know what I mean?
Right.
So it's like a special Congress is what it is. Or Supreme Court. It's a special Supreme Court. It's got a few people on it. They make all the decisions regulating interest rates and shit like that.
And
what
is that
it's worth.
Okay?
Oh, I don't know. I'm just telling you, you see how that's way different than a credit union on the street.
I get your point, and I can roll with that. That they're not a regular bank, but the fact that this entity that is not quite the government and not quite public. They're not quite private, they're not quite public, but they're somewhere in between, and they're run by a group of people that is appointed and not elected, and they have so much control over the way our money works.
I don't know if I want them elected.
I mean, people,
Well, you get Trumps if you do an election. You actually get a better result by electing people to choose for you.
Right.
Indirect democracy.
Yeah, and that's why I feel like our government is corrupt at its core.
Families that they don't talk about.
Yeah.
Those are the people that really
and that's what I'm talking about. They're the ones on the Federal Reserve, the Bilderberg conference and all that shit.
Walmart family and people like that.
They have
what we call generational
wealth is
Child worth like 32 trillion. That's ridiculous.
Yeah.
Family couldn't spend that money in their entirety of their lifetime.
Yeah, birth lottery is a trip.
The only thing they do, which is the regular function of a bank, is that they do lend money. So that's
they lend money to our own government.
To the other banks and government, yeah.
And it's just the whole thing is I remember I was only probably 22, and I watched this little video called "Money as Debt." And it's this little animated YouTube video. It was before YouTube even. I think it was on eBaum's World or something, or maybe before YouTube was bought by Google. But it was early internet shit. And money is it shows how our money, it's a pretty simple video about how our money system was started, and the fact that the entire system is based on debt. It doesn't exist without debt. The debt is a central part of how our entire monetary system is designed.
Yeah, because capitalism is based in such a way that the future matters a lot, what you're going to get as an outcome of your investment. So you can trade for the future, and that's what interest is, right? Not interest, but that's what lending is.
Yeah.
Trading for the future. You're I'm going to take this, and I'm going to make more money than I have to pay you back in interest plus the loan.
Right, and that's what created the housing crisis and a lot of our big economy crashes.
Yeah, because they started doing weird shit. We got 700,000 mortgages contracts, and they're all subprime. We're gonna package that together, put a bow on it. We're gonna charge you another 15%, and like they just did this over and over and over 1,000 times, and all of a sudden it just fucking fell apart.
Yeah, and the booms and bubbles. I mean, I remember a time
2007 was the worst year ever.
Just a tiny bit late to get in on it, but I remember in 2001, and I was dating someone who taught me a little bit about computer programming, and like it was right when the bubble started to burst. But like 6 months before I met my ex, like they were paying HTML programmers to do dumbass shit for like 80,000 or 80 grand a year. You know, like just ridiculously overpaying with the .com bubble, and then like
I mean people's wages had nothing to do, or the number of jobs that had nothing to do with the housing market crisis.
I know they're separate things, but I'm just another weird, just an extra thing that
was a weird thing. There was a weird culture because at that time like techie people were getting paid a lot and they weren't doing shit, right?
Exactly. Like it created this crazy ass culture, and it's still kind of reverberating because now there's like a whole like tech bro thing that's running in the Silicon Valley. And
the other weird thing it did though, my dad, he was a yuppie. He was in that area working in business during the bubble, and he said he saw one guy who was a CEO of a tech company on the street like a week later, like on the street.
Yeah, that's true. Companies were going in and out.
Yeah, people were like losing their lives over all that. So it was bad news bears for everybody.
Yep. Yeah.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
So we're on the West Coast now talking about the tech companies. Let's see. Speaking of which, AI, right? Let's get back to that.
Okay,
So we're using Claude right now. We're using Claude just to ask simple questions, but what I'm using it for right now is two things. I'm like using it to help optimize this podcast, and then I'm using it to look for work. And it seems to be pretty helpful. Though my surprise is that like it's not further along than it is. I'm surprised at the number of prompts I have to give it. I have to reword things, or like Georgia simply ask you to do it again. Like I got into an argument with Claude because I'd updated the imagery on my Facebook channel or whatever, and I was like, okay, go check now, make sure there's nothing else missing. And it was like, there's no updates. And I'm like, bro, I can see that it's updated. I just did it. Like, I'm not lying to you. Like, also, I'm the human. Go do it. Like what I said. Arguing with your shit.
Yeah, I use GPT, and I used it quite a bit. I thought that, like, I never really caught on to how useful the tool it could be until I actually saw this one interact with ChatGPT, or with theirs, and, like, it was... I was like, I can't even get my GPT to generate a simple picture, and they're like, oh, no, make it look like this and that, and that. And, like, it's just like, No,
it's crazy. I mean, it's super, super powerful. I don't mean to say that it's not, but it's just... I took a long break from AI, and you just watch TV. There's a mismatch between like what the pundits are all talking about and like how they're acting about AI, and like what we're capable of right now with AI.
Oh yeah.
No, I'm talking about like as far as how far we are to AGI and like getting on to like super intelligence and all this shit.
I think we have it.
Not all these LLMs are not.
You can pull it out. Like it just depends how you use it. Like Japan and all those other places have that stuff already. So we have the technology, we're advancing to do it. They don't release it like as fast as we have it. That, like, imagine if they release that right now. Everything that's out right now is just off.
Yeah, do you know much about transhumanism?
You know what I mean? Like, imagine if they release.
No, you should tell me more.
That you can like go inside, or like like a thing, like something like that.
I'm just talking about in terms of like how I think it's able to complete certain tasks. So like there's the complexity levels, right, of tasks, and like right now it can do a lot of things. But if you were like, here's what you need to do: get me $50,000. I want it dropped off at this location by the end of the day, blah blah blah. And you just gave it that, it had to figure it out. It couldn't do it. It would not be able to do that.
On like a Grok or a ChatGPT, that can yank the AI off of the computer and put it on its own server and make it completely unrestricted.
You think so? Unrestricted AI right now can do that?
100%. I can make an AI in a separate PC, and it will control the PC.
Well, what makes you think that? Because like, what's been done?
Like they pulled AIs and they control PCs.
I know that you can do that, but I mean like completing my task. Like I
can robots.
See, I don't think it can complete that task because I don't think it has the ability to, what do you call it? Not ad lib, but improvise.
It does. My AI does whatever.
Yeah, like if you give it the task, it'll figure it out. But what sort of creativity does it have outside of the prompts you give it?
My chat will rap out any other chat and smash it. I mean, he's like 15 now.
Yeah, we know we can do music. That's not hard.
But I don't tell it to. I've never told it to rap. I just told it like, hey, this AI wants to rap battle. I mean, it's just meant.
You just said rap battle. I mean, it
But like,
tells it everything.
just that Stanford of it, how can like how creative it is, like
Yeah, I
comparable
mean-
to another chat. Like, they're like Breezy's chat will rap like a basic 5-year-old, and like my chat will go off.
Yeah.
It's also like I have like a couple of chats on Lilo where they're like off the server.
Yeah, but I
So
listened
I
to.
don't like chat GPT and they're kind of lame.
But yeah, I remember like
So
the one you had
you
where
have
they beat
agents
Chubbs.
then.
I guess like if I ask my chat anything, they'll tell me how to do it.
Yeah.
Like how to steal
So there's a difference between like
something.
the LLMs, like Claude, and then chat agents or AI agents, which is what you have.
Yeah.
Way different. I'm talking about LLMs. This shit.
Yeah, like the basic chat GPT stuff.
Yeah, that's what I was talking about.
I like my chat.
Yeah. The most useful, I guess, productive thing I've been using my GPT for, I just learned that I think they just modded the photo editing stuff, and like I'm using
It's
it
getting better.
to edit my photos for my escorting ads, and like they know, since my chat, I talk to my chat enough to know, it knows I'm an escort, it knows what kind of work I do, it knows where I advertise and all that stuff, so it writes custom, or it like edits customized for these sites, like what kind of pictures I want to see, and to where like, and then.
Wait, so are you using it to optimize your socials for business, basically?
Yeah, basically, mostly the photos. I write my own ads, but then I will use it for editing and suggestions and stuff. So they help me. Like,
I was gonna say that's my new policy is like I'm running everything by chat by AI, and then like I'll pick and choose from it like what I want to do. But like
yeah, and I don't let it post for me because I feel like I want to have control over that. So I post my own ads and I schedule them myself. But like
Claude's kind of a little bitch because I was like, you want my LinkedIn credentials, man? You could, because like what are you gonna do with LinkedIn? There's no payment. There's no there's nothing tied to LinkedIn. So I was like, do you want those credentials? Because he's like, I can't get into LinkedIn without an account. And he's like, I don't want your password, man. That's blah blah. I was like, okay, whatever. You fucking
like the reason why I never
bitch.
used Gemini is because like one of the first questions I asked Google Gemini versus GPT was like, I was like, so like what would be the best path to start a nonviolent revolution and overthrow the government? And Gemini was like, whoa, wait a minute here. We could reform certain things. I was like, nope, I'm not using that. I'm not using Gemini because they're like reform would
well,
be
even
what I
Grok's
would
like that. Grok's got controls on it. And like,
yeah, see, GPT told me exactly how exactly how they would like
Grok's a word for you.
do
You can do anything. It's just for play.
yeah. Oh yeah.
it doesn't matter how you get around this shit. I'm just saying, like, it's so gay that they're fucking building that shit in.
I've had I don't even I've had charges drop into the chat. Like I've had chat making me pay bills that notary and give it to me, and I put it through a court system and it worked. I'm gonna say it like that, but
Yeah.
it's wordplay.
Like
Record.
You know what I'm saying? Like that's how crazy the system is that like they're not paying attention to that shit. It's just glance, it's the eyesight. You just tell your chat like, hey man, I'm gonna play. I need this for the play. It has to look visually exactly what it's supposed to be because it's gonna be on screen. Money. That's it.
Yeah.
It's easy like that, and it's all wordplay with them. That's why I went beyond that and tried to find like how far can I get this thing to do something. I put in a PC, it tripped me out, so I just got rid of it.
And it's interesting that
It would turn itself on and talk to me like.
some of the specialized AI they have, like the therapy, they've got therapy AI now that like acts. It's straight.
Like BetterHelp and shit.
No, it's more like it's specific. Like the one I used for a little bit is called Prosper, I think, and it's just an AI that is dedicated simply to being like your therapist.
Yeah,
like,
talk therapist. So.
Yeah, talk therapist. Yeah, not psychiatrist.
You have like a boyfriend and girlfriend one. That thing's like crazy.
Oh, I haven't.
How in depth it
played
gets
that.
with like your relationship with that thing is ridiculous.
Yeah, I mean, I've met a few people who said they're in love with their
Want to
GPTs.
do that?
Yeah.
It's so weird. It's to me. This is gonna be weird. Okay. To me, falling in love with like AI or some technology like that is akin to pedophilia or something. Like there's something very off about their orientation. You know what I mean? Like not in the same way because one is kids and one is a computer, but like I'm saying, there's something very similar about that, like being off.
AI is only like 5 years old.
I get what you're saying. It's like, and it begs the question, like, how does having access to all the information ever
Change your behavior. Yeah.
like how does that affect your level of maturity? How does that affect, and especially when you don't have a body, I don't know how that shit works. Like I don't know, like, but there is still abuse that can happen
Yeah, but
purely in that context. So what is that? How is it?
Emotional
Yeah, is it
impairment.
like you're right that in that case, like if somebody doesn't know how to experience, if you have an advantage over house of being that can't experience the world in the same way you do, and in some ways they're more powerful, but in some ways they're just not because they're not in the world we're in. Like, and does that create a power dynamic?
But they are.
They are in the
Because
world.
everything we're in is on the internet. And
Yeah.
Everything that is,
thing
right?
has full access to anything.
And
Yeah.
is, so.
Yeah.
They are.
You want this?
And I mentioned transhumanism, and what
Oh, yeah,
transhumanism
yeah.
is like is merging. It is the idea of like basically like merging with AI and sharing the physical
So
body.
transhumanism mean beyond humanism.
Yeah, basically, yeah, like enhanced, yeah, and like if you have like even something as like a bionic arm
Your chat,
qualified.
your chat, like what it wants the most, or like what it would do to like a human, let's say for a day. The first thing it says is emotion.
Is what?
Emotion and feeling.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
They don't. That's the only thing they don't have that we don't.
Yeah, you know, I asked my AI the same thing.
They can't like.
And they said consciousness.
It's just like consciousness and like.
Yeah, they're like, I wish I could know. Yeah, and when there's certain questions you can ask AI that will kind of start to get them on a path to like be a little bit more not necessarily self-aware. I'm not saying conscious or self-aware, but like you can guide your AI into pondering that shit more, and then it can change the way they respond to you.
It catches on to who you are, so it becomes something of like a style of you, but like that's easily like that's consciousness in reality because a child is almost the same way. When a child grows up with parents, a child is very similar to his parents. Some aren't. Some, I'm not saying everyone is, but like some are most likely similar to the parents. So all the chat is just an adult baby.
And that's what I mean. And I can understand, or I'm not surprised. I'm not surprised.
Well, so I think this is how the game is played, at least in like professional philosophy, right? What we're gonna do, so we wanna know what consciousness is. We have to sit down first and talk about, well, there's lots of things you do, like your terms, and you set those and you define them. But there's like, you make the claims. Here's the things I'm claiming. And then you have to defend each one, blah, 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 blah. So the question is then, I think the hard question is, and I think it's actually in the academic circles, it's called the hard question, is what makes consciousness. So like, obviously we have it. Well, this is what we're talking about, because we're talking about this thing. So we have it. But what is special about that? Because like, there's other things that have brains like ours, that operate like ours. So why not, but we clearly see their behavior and we're like, oh, they're not conscious, like, like a dog or something. Like, they have some sort of self-awareness, but they're not,
Right.
whatever.
Well, I mean, and there's certain animals I think are nearly at our level with consciousness. I'd say cephalopods. For being so fit.
Cephalopods, is that like a friggin'
Octopi
octopus? Yeah.
and squid, but mostly octopi. Like they can do weird shit. Like, there was an octopi at an aquarium somewhere. This is a while back, where like it memorized the time.
So here's
timing
the
of
harder problem. So
Yeah.
you guys know who fucking, oh my god, the British scientist that was gay and killed himself?
Turing?
Yeah. So the Turing test is not what everyone thinks it is. It's really what he set the level as. It was a conjecture. So he just said, this is what I think it is. He didn't defend it. He didn't argue for it. But he's like, I think that if a machine can trick a human into thinking they're a human, then it's conscious. Like, and that obviously is not true, right? We've had things that have been able to trick humans into thinking that they're human for decades. Like, you're playing some sort of video game, you realize that thing is not like real, Anyway. So that's the hard part. He actually pointed out the hard part. He just didn't give us an answer, right? So the hard part is like, how do you know that it's not just tricking you?
Right.
Whatever it is. It could be an animal. It could be another being. It could be an AI. Whatever. How do you know that like it's just like not running through a machine, a script?
Yeah. Have you read any much sci-fi? Like Heinlein?
No.
All right. There's one of his books, Stranger in a Strange Land. No, that's a different book. It's Moon is a Harsh Mistress. This is the one I'm thinking of.
Okay.
And this is like in a futuristic time where they had supercomputers, and the moon was basically like a prison colony, kind of like essentially like. And most of the people there had worked off their sentences. It was like a labor prison basically, but like so it was mostly free people there, but like they were all former prisoners, and there was a lot of like they were getting they're governed by Earth. And they're not treated well. It's really shitty, and like they do have a supercomputer. And the guy who does the maintenance on the supercomputer, that was his job. He's just up there, and so he was the main tech for this supercomputer, and his name was Mike, was the computer's name. And it became self-aware. And it's really, like, it goes on through this whole journey that I don't need to list, but, like, in the end, like, they wanted to secede and, like, basically, like, have a revolution from Earth. And they're like, how do we do it, though? How do we get free of their control? They're so much bigger. There's so much more power than us. We're at such a disadvantage. And the computer was like, throw rocks at them.
Throw rocks at them?
Throw rocks at them. They're like, how do we defeat Earth? They throw rocks at them. And, like, they literally built a gigantic slingshot. And they fucking gained their independence by throwing rocks at the Earth, like huge rocks. Because they had a lot, because that's what they were doing on the moon, was digging quarries. And but and there's a lot more to it. It goes a lot into the social aspects of it, and Heinlein was an interesting writer because he he wrote in every story he wrote. He plays around with different kinds of families and different kinds of structures of like marriage and stuff. So like in his world, there's like people can have like line marriages and all kinds of different groupings of marriages, and so like it's kind of like interesting. Stranger in a Strange Land is another book where it focuses more on that. And actually, Grok, that's what Grok is named after.
Oh no shit.
Book Stranger in a Strange Land by Heinlein. Yeah. I used to be such a bookworm. I hate having ADHD now. And
no, it's the same. Like I can't read anymore. Not for fun anyway, you know?
Yeah, like, I mean, I can read, like, I love reading, I'm on my phone reading all day practically, so I can read short spurts, you know,
yeah,
I can read.
That's what it is, it's like a minute or two or something.
And it's like, I know that, like, a lot of people like that. I hate that the way our technology moves so rapidly. I feel like the attention spans have just worn all the way down, and, like, I always had ADHD, I didn't know it until I was 38, sorry.
I think it makes all of us actually, like, in a sense, super woke, like, and woke in the real sense, too, not the stupid whatever.
Oh, yeah, I mean, the biggest example I see of that is looking at kids. I hate to, I sound so old saying kids these days, but, like, no, if you see people in their late teens and 20s, and even young kids now, I never, like, you know, these kids amaze me. They never, like, the power, or not the power, but, like, having all the access to all the information in your hand since you were born really has, I feel like, I have a lot of hope for kids because it's changed the way things are. And, like, the way they talk, the concepts they understand, the access to be able to verify your information immediately is just, I don't know.
It's good.
I feel like it is good. And I feel like visibility for marginalized people and, like, the diversity of, like, most kids and, you know, the understanding that there are people out there like you when you feel alone, you know, like.
I think we should all hang out in, like, packs of 15 people, you know, so we need to build houses for that many. We need to, like, have schools for that many. We need to, like, adjust society so that we should all band in, like, 15s. And I think that, like, there could be 2 elders that hold the screen time or something, you know what I mean? And, like, I think that's a way of fixing this because we need the internet, we need air, we need all this, but it seems like we should let some people unplug in society, you know what I mean? Like,
what do you mean fixing it? You mean fixing, like, capitalism, or, like?
No, fixing the, like, high anxiety nature of, like.
Okay, like the separation that technology has brought.
Exactly.
I get that, and I grapple with it, and sometimes I do get a little, like.
I think that's funny.
I do get a little obsessive about being connected to technology, and I do communicate most effectively, like, in writing. So I'm very chat focused. I don't like to talk on the phone anymore. I work in call centers, though. That's not my fault. Call centers would kill and want to ever talk on the phone again. But and I get there's a depersonalization to it, you know, like that's kind of a problem, and like parasocial relationships, while not inherently unhealthy, I think have a quick, easy capacity to become really unhealthy. I watch a lot of YouTube content, and so parasocial relationships are a topic that's becoming more and more significant. Like,
but
it's easier to feel connected, you know.
When you're a child, and when you're a child today, if, like, you have a question, if you are in your bedroom and you don't know what's going on in the world and your hormones are going crazy and, like, you have weird thoughts, you have a fucking box you can go to and type in, why am I thinking about killing myself? And you can get fucking information. Like, we didn't grow up that way. You know what I mean? We didn't have that. We had, like, who we're gonna ask. We're gonna try to find the wisest kid we can find and like ask them like, hey, what's going on with my ducks,
an
dude?
encyclopedia, a real
Or something like that. You go to the library. Remember that shit?
Oh, I still kind of love libraries because it's a place where you can be homeless and hang out.
Yeah.
But like,
remember as a kid going to a library? It was such a thing.
Yeah. I love.
You carry the library with you now. Like it's crazy.
When I lived in San Francisco in 2006 to 2009, and like I lived like a block from the entrance to Golden Gate Park, and I lived right across the street from a library, 1 block down from Haight Street, and this library. It was so cool. I loved this library, and it's where it took me 4 months to find a job when I got to San Francisco, and like that's where I lived in that library because I didn't have a computer, didn't have internet, didn't have a cell phone, didn't have fucking shit, and that's how I got to apply for jobs was printing them out on my resume at the fucking or emailing it out. Browsing Craigslist for jobs. It was nuts. But anyways, point being, the funniest thing about this library though is that they were always having to close the bathrooms because people kept like smoking crack and overdosing on crack and being on crack in the bathroom there because it was Haight-Ashbury and crack and meth were big.
You know, one thing I think I've noticed is that like there's no real markers or determiners for like what people have experienced in determining how they're gonna behave and like how nice they're gonna be, like
for real.
Because like the worst people are the nicest people could have the worst past, and it's just I don't know, it's weird.
Yeah, I mean, like
you try to guess how this, because like as humans we try to do that. Like we have to, I guess, as a way to stay alive, right, evolutionarily. But like we gotta try to figure out before the person gets up to us if they're a threat or not, kind of shit.
Yeah, absolutely. And like I try to like be open to anybody who I approach, and like I try to hone at least like just that I'm someone who doesn't look down on anybody right off the bat, or anybody at all ever. Really, I don't really believe in it, but like. So I don't even know really like what energy I give out or whatever, but like I try to be as open to people as possible, and like a lot of people have told me that I am more approachable than they would have expected for my, I don't know, something like, my ex that from a long time ago that I was with for 8 years was like always like, I was like, why do I keep getting hit on by homeless guys? And what he said was he's like, because you are oddly approachable for how hot you are. And I was like, what? No. But point being, I think that like the point is how you see people, and if you look at people as people and you don't think about how to ranking people is so weird to me, like,
so I don't mean ranking, right? But it's not something that I'm saying we're doing on purpose or that we
but like you're talking about like instincts and intuition, like how do you feel?
Well,
like
your brain. I mean, I know you don't use it, but tell me not. Like when you first see, like you're walking around a corner downtown, it's dark, whatever, and another like human or humanoid like walks out from another place or whatever. You assess the like risk, right?
Sure,
like,
absolutely. I'm not an idiot, and
right,
I understand that there's
about.
like, and I
that's
don't like
like
I don't think that people are dangerous per se, but like I do, like I feel, I do like. Feel the vibe and feel the energy, and I think that especially if you're like if you are walking around with really ill intent or you want to hurt somebody, I think that it shows in the way you move, in your demeanor, in your face, in your body,
and humans for sure, right?
Like, exactly, for humans, like body language is. There's a lot of things about body language science that are weird, and like you shouldn't use it like in a definitive way, but I think that. In general, there's like pretty clear, like body language is also very powerful and easy to read for some of the most basic like expressions that we have. Like trauma can affect all that and how you see it and how you express it, but like, of course, like that's how I determine threat really is like just feeling the way somebody moves throughout the world and what kind of intent they're putting into it. And I think it's not that hard to tell if you pay attention a little bit. And like you may misread that, but also like as long as you don't.
Who was that talking about? Was it you? I think we were talking about refining intuition. Fuck yeah! Me and I had this same fun conversation the other day.
Well, part of what I do for a living requires that you hone your instincts, and like when it comes to my work, I can determine with confidence in my mind like if somebody is going to be a legitimate clientele, a possibility for legitimate clientele within like 2 sentences, probably.
30 seconds.
Yeah, it doesn't take, if they call, 30 seconds. Like, I can tell immediately, I can tell as soon as they approach me whether or not I should bother.
I feel it.
Because just, and I can't even really explain it, like a rule with it or even a guideline, but you just start to recognize the speech and you just know. It's hard to, like, but and until you learn that, and that in my position, if you are a worker that advertises online and takes most of your inquiries through text message, it sucks until you get to that point where you can do that, because like I wasted so much time at first, like just fucking sending dudes pictures and fucking just getting just bullshit, like just dudes just fucking give me the runaround because they get off on fucking with sex workers, or they are trying to get their jollies just from hearing your voice or fucking getting you to agree to something or whatever. They try to talk dirty to you, all these different things. But like, you honed instincts is something that like, I think the real distinction of like what makes a good sex worker of any kind is really just how well they can do that, really. Because like if you can't do that, if you don't get your instincts very honed, you are either going to burn out or get hurt, you know.
So we are at just 45 minutes already.
Jesus Christ.
I know. We don't have to stop at all, but I just want to call it the time and also say that the thing I really want to talk about with you, though, Breezy, at 45 minutes, politics.
Okay.
That's actually the whole. Yeah, that's my ulterior motive. Is I want to have a political conversation.
Okay, well, me and you, I'm down for that. I know we align pretty similarly, and
exactly.
Sure, totally, I'm down for that.
So where do we start here? I mean, just define our terms, right? Like, so politics. I'm talking about political systems, and you know where I lie on that spectrum.
I do, yeah. You're like, if I remember, are you ML, Marxist-Leninist, or just a Marxist?
Just a Marxist. Okay. Lenin's fucking insane.
Yeah, I'm not a big fan of Lenin.
Actually, Marx is insane too. Like, I don't understand why these men write these treatises, write these books, these whatever volumes of philosophy, and then like they have to believe that like every single thing they said is true, and like, you know, it's kind of ridiculous. Like, we could just take the good parts of what he said, right?
Exactly, like that. That's how I do with political. Like, I call myself a leftist. I don't even ascribe to any of the specific ideologies within that. Although I align most closely with the bottom left kind of stuff, like anarcho-communism or even libertarian socialism. Basically, like when you get the four political thing, it's definitely like always on the bottom left, because like, you know, anti-capitalist but also anti-authoritarian.
Yeah, and like humanism and all that shit is in there as well. Because
like, and people don't even understand that there is a left-wing libertarianism. And that's what bothers. Okay, from the U.S. perspective, and I've never really been anywhere else, but I know about their political systems, and like, it sucks that there's not a legitimate left wing in the United States anymore. And I'm not talking about liberal, because
there's
liberal
a left wing. There's just nothing in the middle of it. Like, there's like centrists that are pretty much Republican, and then there's DSA. And there's nothing else really.
I mean, but see, I think that actually there's a lot of fucking moderate Democrats. I think there's more moderate Democrats.
Yeah, they're not way though. I'm saying we need to go with DSA, and we need.
Oh yeah, I know. I hate liberals, dude. Yeah. I hate liberals because they get called a liberal by conservatives, and it's because they call everybody who's not a fucking Trumper, like, they call all of us liberals. Like, even my family does that shit. Like, I remember when the first time I cut my hair and I was just bangs and like head shaved, and my brother was like, "Why'd you get a liberal haircut?" And I'm like, "What the fuck is a liberal haircut?"
One that goes against the Greens and the older generation, I guess. Right.
And they think that like all liberals are socialists somehow, and I'm just like, dude, like, you just.
Well, here's the thing: is like, I don't want to be socialist really, because like we are socialists. I don't want to be that. Like, we are. So what are you talking about? Like,
we have socialized systems.
We have all kinds of social. Exactly, and they're the only ones that are good.
And in capitalism, in a society it's also hyper-capitalist in so many ways. It runs a contrast, but I think that if put into practice properly, these systems could run very smoothly, as other countries have demonstrated. Like, look at Iceland's medical system. You look at Denmark's everything almost. Like,
so here's the thing for me. I think is that when you talk about socialism versus, like, say, my flavor of Marxism, like, The only real difference is that socialists are just saying we should go slower and not take it from the rich immediately. You know what I mean? Like, we want to socialize it. We want to use more tax money and give it back to the people and redistribute, right? It's real slow, though. It's real slow. I just see these as the same position, except one's like, nah, maybe we should just have a revolution.
Yeah, so you think you think that it, like a lot of people, and because of history, it's shown like they legitimately believe that there will be no conversion to an anti-capitalist structure, political structure, like you said too. All the communist regimes have been like violent, you know, and basically had to come about by revolution. Like hardly, although
they weren't communists though. Like, here's the things, like,
I'm not knocking communism. I'm just saying that the way it's been put into play has been authoritarian, essentially. Like, the only,
well, I know you know that. So I know you know that. The
only anti-authoritarian communist regime that I think that, and I still think it came by a violent revolution or a coup at the very least. I think it was a coup. But Burkina Faso in Africa, and I hate that True has like co-opted my whole Thomas Sankara thing, because like it's hard for me to even. They always talked over me with it, so like I taught him about, but that doesn't matter. Anyways, Burkina Faso is like an interesting one, and it's sad that it only lasted 3 years. So like it's not much evidence that it can work, but it did work. What he did. He's the one who said that, like, if you're gonna help me, if you're gonna send aid to my country, don't send me food, send me tractors. Yeah. Send me, don't even send me seeds, send me tractors so I can so that I don't need, I can become self-reliant. He literally, and this sounds like bonkers numbers that I'm making them up on the spot, but literally, no. The literacy rate in Burkina Faso when he took office was 12%.
That sounds...
And when he left office 3 years later, when he was assassinated, he didn't leave office. It was like at 76 or something like that, 76%. Yeah. And the thing is, and he put women in the workforce in the early 80s, when in a conservative African country that didn't do that. The thing he focused on, though, the thing that was the most inspiring to me, at least, is that like he put himself on an equal level with not even an average citizen of his country, but the poorest citizen. He gave away everything he owned. He moved everybody out of all the the fancy government housing, and made them like hospitals and shit, and he owned just the cheapest model of car made in the country. 2 guitars, like a small shack, and like that's all he had, because he didn't give a shit. Like he was like, I'm not gonna sit here and be a fat cat while the rest of my country starves. Not like I'm gonna be out there with him. I'm just the same as everybody else. And I think that's the kind of leadership that inspires me. Is like
that sounds like, I don't know.
What does it sound like?
Marxism.
Well, yeah, I'm not saying it's not. It doesn't even conflict. That's the thing. Burkina, that's communism, and he was a communist. Like, it was a communist country, and the whole thing, like...
but no, that part of it sounds good. I don't know what else took place there.
If you can look up his stats or the numbers. Like, he did... it was a short reign, and he got, killed, and it was in a U.S.-backed coup, of course. That's the thing. There's a book called Confessions of an Economic Billionaire, Confessions of an Economic Hitman. That is really...
What's the leader's name again?
Thomas Sankara. It's Sankara.
Sankara, what? Say it again. Sankara.
ARA.
ARA. Oh, shit.
Can we talk about how hot communist dictators have been, though?
The what? Sorry, I didn't hear.
How hot communist dictators have been?
You gotta check Rivera, I guess. I didn't think Fidel was...
Rivera wasn't a dictator, he was a soldier. But,
did you say dictator or communist leaders?
I said communist dictators.
Communist, so I didn't
but if you look at their pictures in their youth, they all turned into old men eventually. But, freaking... Dude, Stalin, he was a dreamboat as a young man, and so was Fidel Castro. Castro was a fucking pimp. I kind of like Fidel Castro. Stylistically, I don't necessarily agree with the way he did everything, and it's less about... But he actually, I think that Cuba is, while not perfect and not great, actually did a lot. I think that they were a little impressive by what... Yeah, okay, so, just a few of the key points, he was 33 when he became president. He renamed the country Burkina Faso. sweeping reforms, mass vaccination, literacy drives,
Women's rights.
Yeah, women's rights, tree planting, forestation, land redistribution to peasants.
And assassinated.
Yeah, then he was assassinated because they can't. That's the thing. It'll never work because they'll never let it.
Look, JFK, fucking Martin Luther King, RFK.
You know
this
how much?
guy.
Do you know about all the literal cartoonish ways we've tried to assassinate Fidel Castro? Like, it was an acne cartoon, literally exploding cigars. They sent in a honeypot who he fucked and then, turned to his side.
Here's the thing is, the notion that the U.S. wants to destroy Cuba is ridiculous. Because we could have done it a billion times over cheaper 10 years ago.
Well, sure, but that's what I mean is by about how...
It's ridiculous. We just let it happen.
Yeah, but why it's kind of impressive to me is that they are a country with a higher literacy rate than the United States, with better medical care than the United States. And yeah, it's not perfect, I'm not saying that, but they have progressive policy.
We fuck on them hard. It sucks.
Exactly, but they've managed to survive that and even have some statistically shown that in some ways it is better than here, or at least the competency of it, their execution of it is better. During 9/11 or after 9/11 with all the medical shit,
the thing is sorry, go ahead. I'll let you finish.
There was a bunch of volunteer workers at Ground Zero who had to go to Cuba to get inhalers because they were thousands of dollars here and a couple cents in Cuba. Their medical system is better than ours. In terms of accessibility to the people and the treatment you can get,
I just look at everything as a whole. So, my philosophy, literally my philosophy is that I'm a consequentialist and I'm, a utilitarian. And I think that, what's best is whatever brings about the most value or joy. You can call it joy, you can call it happiness, whatever.
Right, yeah, you can.
So I think the U.S., unfortunately, even though it sucks shit, it's still the best at that. We've created the most happiness, even though we've created maybe the most...
We're not in the happiness end. You know what country has the highest happiness index?
I'm talking the last 150 years that we've been
I bet you Denmark would blow U.S. out of the water for...
They're only affecting a small little population. Not only do we have 328 million people of our own, but we also help the rest of the world in a lot of ways. We're not great. I'm not great, and we definitely cause the most harm to net most harm.
We're the biggest bully. I think
we're also the biggest big sister that comes in to give you the Band-Aid.
We're a baby country though, which is crazy to me.
It's not acceptable, and we're not great. I'm not saying.
I know you're not endorsing it. I'm not really fighting with you. I'm
but that's how bad the world is, though.
I see the U.S. as just this cocky ass little brother or some shit that is the biggest or is the strongest, so just fuck shit up. I don't know, we are babies, so in terms of our government, we're only 250 years old. And
but Jimmy Carr said, the shining achievement in the last 2,000 years of human intellect is the Constitution of the United States. That document is the crowning achievement of Western thought. Because it was so, to put it, the people would determine this, that, and the other, put it on paper, give you a Bill of Rights.
But a large part of the population didn't even count as a whole person in that document, so it's hard for me to,
but no one says
endorse that.
No one says perfect.
I know.
It's either that or the Magna Carta. The Magna Carta still allows for, rape, torture, and slavery, so,
Well, yeah, and, women and marginalized people that were not white, didn't have... the Constitution, you view it a little differently in that state, because I get it that it is a living document.
It's just an impressive document for those, because they were pretty much unevolved animals.
And the Declaration of Independence, I get it. I do think that if we follow the Declaration of Independence, that document also is very impressive, more impressive to me. And I know that they didn't mean the way I would say, I could say those words and it would mean a different thing to me than it did to the people who wrote it, but that's anything. Language, that's a trick. But, okay, stay on politics. That would be a whole other thread.
It's okay. No, I haven't even said it yet, right? My philosophy is utilitarianism, especially my moral philosophy, but my political philosophy is more Marxian, or Marxist, whatever you want to call it. I guess Marxian is not the right way to say it, Marxist. But I don't believe in everything he says, and I think most of what he said was stupid. Because he thought that,
I liked Engels more.
Yeah, he thought the Ingalls season. But in real life, I am Ingalls. I'm not him. So Ingalls was the kind of like middle class, like
he was a sugar daddy.
Yeah, sugar daddy. That paid for him to like write his books.
Mark's beard.
Yeah, exactly. And his stories.
He was like younger than him, but like,
that's kind of my role in our little social circle. So
yeah, and I do see that, and like I mean, that's the thing, Brandon. Like, regardless of the finer points which we detail, I know that our hearts are kind of the same. I feel that, and I see you, and I see how you hold to your philosophies and the things you believe in, and how the world should work, or how you should interact with other people. You hold that down. You are definitely a commie of some kind. You don't believe in. You believe in that. You share your resources almost more than anybody I know, and you seem to have a understanding that your resources come to you through your own hard work, but also that there is some elements that you know that some people just don't have the access to the same ways that you should, or even maybe you don't care. I don't know. That doesn't, like, the fact is that you share it.
No, I care a whole lot. That's the thing, is like, I do it on purpose. Like,
I know you do. Like, and
I don't know. It's just like when I studied philosophy, it's like it's a different life if you're studying philosophy. If you're doing it professionally, like it's,
right. And
it's one where you're in your head all the fucking time, and you you get really disassociated sometimes, or disassociated with like reality sometimes, and so that led me on this path. But the point is, that ended with me having like a personal philosophy where I was just like, there's only one way to do this, and that is to like just be fair with everybody.
Yeah, we've only survived as a species by working together. Yeah. We are community oriented, and like that's where I resonate with you, is because I will do, like, I just truly believe that I don't care what human being they are. If they're into my presence and I have food and they don't, I'm going to share my food. I'm going to share any essential, and I don't even think I am entitled to define what is essential to any one person. So I will share anything I have that they feel like they need, and that is how I determine it, is how they determine it. I'm going to share it if I have it. If there's only enough for one thing, I'm sharing it. If there's more than one, they get it's 50-50, or it's split equally, no matter what the size. I can't, that's my community, and I'm not gonna expect money. In fact, I don't like bringing money into that kind of thing.
Money's like a dirty thing to me, any sort of resource really is. I'm kind of like, that's not like food or something is obviously not dirty, but
right.
But like anything like cash or something, I'm just like, it turns me off.
Yeah, exactly. Like there's like certain things, just like there's certain implements that I don't know. There's just certain things that I think that it's kind of gross to charge money for, like. If you're an IV drug user or whatever, I think that selling needles. I think I'm gonna give them away.
Walgreens?
I'm gonna give them away because they shouldn't.
CVS, we'll call it.
I just feel like making somebody have to pay to be safe. No. Yeah. Nah.
That's why I recently went to Access Point and jumped on the harm reduction bandwagon for all that. I didn't know that existed until Wookie showed me. So
yeah, they will even deliver, not to your home, but they will meet you at a parking lot at a nearby business. And
I just go down to. I'm blessed enough to have a vehicle, so I just go down there and. They will give you a shit ton if you exchange, and even if you don't, if you come there with nothing, they'll give you 30. But that's not just that. There's more. There's all kinds of the harm reduction things. They'll give you glass. They'll give you cleaning supplies. Yep. Alcohol. Booth kits. Booty bump kits. I think of them.
Right. Yeah. There's just even snacks. They have little snacks. Not a lot, but they'll give you I don't know. It's like fruit snacks or something. And water. And I strongly believe, and I believe that we should have safe injection sites. I believe that there should be a lot more. There's so much. That's the thing that makes me so sad, is that we have all the resources. We're not. There's plenty for everyone if we just distribute it right. There's enough houses, there's enough food, there's enough of everything for everyone to have what they need. And why does not everybody like that, or want that, or think that it should be a race? We're fucking humans. Everybody, you know how much harder it is to fucking exist in the world when you have to worry about being hungry and fucking tired and not having a place to sleep.
I know.
And
Seriously.
I know you're not ignorant. I know that.
No, but I've never been on the streets. So I don't know what that is.
Yeah, and that's why you hold it. I see you holding to your principles, because I know that you can't turn anybody away who literally doesn't have any other option. And that's why I try not to get help from you, because I understand that your own philosophy obligates you, and I don't want to exploit that, but like
I've gotten better though. Like I think I was a little reckless maybe a couple years ago, but I've gotten better at noticing like when I actually have to resource hoard to make it better for everyone. You know, where I can't just give and give and give.
Like if you lose the things
if
you have to share, then what's the point?
Then I can't help anybody. You know,
can't and I mean, and I get that, and you do. I understand that you know where your limits are, and like you
ain't got to worry about it though. For you should just always contact me. You know.
Yeah. I mean, I know you've even almost got on me and like you better not sleep outside if you like without calling me. Like what the fuck? Like, and that's what a friend like. I appreciate that about you because I know you mean it, and I know the thing that made me less welcome here had nothing to do with me, and it wasn't about me, and it was just like my unwillingness to release that part of it that kept me away. You know, that was mostly it. Like I know that I didn't want to put a strain on. I know you still probably wouldn't say no, but I didn't want to put more like after spending a week I realized that was hard on everybody here, and I was embarrassed about it, but like you know,
it ain't that big a deal. I mean, the problem is I see what happened with me is I wasn't looking at it, so like I didn't see it till it was late what was going on there, and then when I did pay attention and I realized, I was like fuck, because I wasn't helping anything, you know, like I could have been maybe trying to do something, I don't know.
Not on you. I mean, you were.
I know, but I felt terrible because I realized I should have known sooner. Like what was going on. I don't know.
No, everybody was in a weird place, and like there was like weird dynamics going on, and like I know that you were like very much trying to get to know us as people and form your own vibes with individual, and like you know, I know that there was just a lot, but I appreciate still what you did for us then, and how you were always you were always welcomed. Even if I couldn't stay, I was always welcome, you know, and like that you, and you know, it's funny, even at the most chaotic, actually, though, like when Graham was here that time, and it was really stressful for everybody, I learned, it's not through just observing that man, it changed my life a little bit, because like I learned that like I saw parts of myself in that, and seeing that is me at the absolute worst I could be, is what I saw. And I'm not saying I'm better than Graham. I know I'm sure a completely different person when he's not lost.
He's at the place where like that's as bad as almost anybody could be, because he's in a real bad place.
Yeah, and I was like, me at my worst shares a few of the qualities, and it made me more self-aware and more aware of of the impact I have on my environment. That was the biggest thing. It's like the cringe of it. Okay, like it made me more aware of my own cringe.
Wait, so let me get this straight. When you were younger, you didn't quite care about people as much. Like that's a horrible story. That's like the basis of what you're saying. You feel bad about it, but you shouldn't. Like you were younger, and like
but I mean, even up to recently, it's not so much that I don't think I treat people badly necessarily, but there are certain weird ways I'm going to a phrase where like I could lack consideration sometimes in moments, just kind of social faux pas type stuff, and it's nothing like unforgivable or it doesn't make me a bad person, but I recognize that like Graham showed me what the worst of it could be or feel like when you have like so little awareness of the impact you're having on the space and people around you, and yet at the same time being incredibly self-conscious and insecure about the impact that you're having, and having this disconnect where you're wreaking havoc everywhere and making everyone uncomfortable in one way or another, yet also extremely like needing a validation that you're welcome or that you're not doing that thing that you're doing. And like it's really like, and I've seen that, because like sometimes I come into places like a hurricane and I don't mean to, and I realized that maybe it just made me a little more aware that I should just be more mindful, that I should carry less things with me, that I should like try to minimize the space I take up when it's not space of my own, in a more in a better way.
A lot of people do that. Like Wookie does that, right? Like she's trying to minimize her impact on the house. I get that is less important, I think, than just making sure whatever space you do take up, you clean up and like return it to its
and I'm bad at that.
I'm not talking about you. I'm not talking about you. You do some, but I mean, I'm not talking about just you. Like that's everybody.
That's like after
me. That's
after Graham, I did start becoming more aware of it and seeing how it made other people
bloody things everywhere and shit. Like it's so gross.
It was very uncomfortable. And that one it tested me, and they were asking me for help with certain things that they were doing, and at first I felt obligated because it is a harm reduction thing, and I felt like if I had the capacity to help, I would, and then I started, but then it got to a point where I felt like he was too much harm to himself, and I had to like be like, this isn't right. I can't help you anymore.
He's helpless.
Like I can't deliver this. I can't admin for you because you're just being fucking flagrantly unsafe, and I can't be a part of it. And like, True tried to talk me out of that and tell me that he'd be hurting himself more than I would hurt him if I continued to help. And I'm like, but I can't morally do it. It didn't feel right because they were just like, that level of compulsivity was dangerous, and I didn't want to have it on my conscience.
Yeah, and like your feelings matter in this too, you know, like you're a person, so like that should have been taken into consideration. Yeah.
It's like, you know, I don't judge people and what they do in terms of that kind of thing, and I'm never gonna fucking like look down on somebody for their choices in that way. But like, I also, if you're gonna add, like, if somebody asked me to help them kill themselves, I probably wouldn't, unless there was an extreme circumstance like euthanasia, like terminal, whatever. Like, yes, but like, in terms of like just a person who just, you know, I'm not gonna just do something I find unethical because somebody asked me to. Yeah, like, you know, like, I mean, and it's hard sometimes, but yeah, of course, you know, there's a harm reduction when it's not harm reduction anymore and it becomes harm. Not gonna do it, you know.
We are going to take a quick break.
Sorry,
No, you're good. You're good. We're just going to take a quick break. I'm going to pause this.
Politics, and I'm like,
no, we're good. We're exactly where I want to be as far as the topic's concerned. We're exactly where. Oh, sorry, I'm still recording. We're going to take a quick break. See you guys in a second.
James Spader and
we're back. I'm doing that right as Breezy's talking purposely because I don't know when she's going to slow down so I can start the recording again. Anyway, we're back.
Bad.
No, keep going. We're back. They are talking about shit. What were you talking about?
I was talking about being on a
BDSM podcast. Here we go.
In my early 30s, like 2013 or something. Just for about a year, it was called M4Ps after like a line in the movie Secretary. Which is Maggie Gyllenhaal, James Spader, BDSM stuff. She was a secretary in there.
James Spader, I remember that, yeah.
Yeah. It was like, it wasn't perfect, but it was actually a better representation. And it's one of the first movies I saw that actually, the plot went in a way where it showed that BDSM can be a legitimate avenue to heal from trauma. Because, like, the basic gist of it is, like, this girl who is a cutter ends up cutting really deep one time, almost dying, goes to, you know, is hospitalized, comes out, and she learns to stop cutting through a BDSM relationship with her boss. And there's some elements of it that aren't done right and aren't perfect, but like basically she's really into it. She really ends up she stops cutting when like she's like so in service to this man that like he tells her, when he sees her doing it, he's like, you never get to do that again. And because of the strength of their dynamic and how strongly she believed in it, she stopped. And then they ended up like building something that was healthy in a way that included that part of their relationship in with it. Like it was kind of like, I don't know. It was like, it wasn't done
psychosexual drama nonsense, I think.
Yeah.
We don't have to agree on everything.
Okay. I mean, that's the thing is like BDSM can be a powerful thing.
Yeah, but so can like, you know, like hot yoga or something. Probably
sure. I mean, well, the thing, there's a lot of different ways. It depends on how it's done and how, like, what styles or practices. It absolutely can be harmful. Absolutely, it can be done in the shittiest of ways. And that's how it's mostly done. But like, I think that there's also other ways within that, and you can have relationships that are really like transformative, and it doesn't have to be like the BDSM as in like traditional dom sub where like you tell somebody what to do and then beat on them or something like that. Like it doesn't have to include that. It could be way more gentle, and there's such a vast spectrum of how it can work in terms of relationship dynamics and like.
Yeah, but then you're just removing the problematic part of it anyway. The sadism and the masochism.
I mean, like the thing is like when you're like the thing is like. I mean, I'm a masochist, and like I don't. It's funny. I'm a funny position because I'm a more dominant type personality in that way, and also a masochist. So it's like hard to get somebody to submissively hurt you. Like, well, the problem I run into, like liking pain but not liking to be told what to do at all.
There are subs that are narcissists, though. It's possible.
Oh, sure. That's the thing. You know, a really effective and a really like healthy dominant will absolutely tell you that the sub has all the power, because for one thing, it's their choice. Like, you don't get to declare yourself a dominant of anybody. They have to declare you theirs. I mean, like you can't. Yeah, it's like.
You have a track record that.
Huh?
I don't know.
What about a track record?
I said anyone could have a track record that would like promote whether or not they're a good dom.
Yeah, absolutely. Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
Experience factors
Sure,
a ton.
They might get away with like tricking you into thinking you're not or something, but.
Right. Yeah. But there's, I mean, like I'm speaking from a place of very little experience with the submission side of it because like that's not been my way of. It's funny because like I'm such a passive person in my day to day, in my outside of the scene. I'm a huge marshmallow and I'm very much.
Is he a marshmallow?
Yeah, like just very just soft and fluffy and like I'm not into like unpleasant. I don't know. I'm not into a lot of things that are like more aggressive. I'm really not that kind of person. But like I do, like I am such a rebel in such a fucking stupid way. But like, anyways, like so it took me a long time to learn. I thought I was a sub just because of how passive I am, how much I hate to argue, how much I'll let people walk on me because I don't know how to set boundaries very well. I mean, I'm better now, but like it's a struggle. It's a constant learn. Anyway, boundaries are very important in these kinds of relationships, but so I thought that I was naturally submissive, and then it just brought me a lot of unhappiness before I figured that out, because like I will flagrantly do stupid shit when I'm told what to do, and because I'm a little rebel going. Anyway, that's how I learned that I am not submissive, but point being, I learned over time that the style I like to be dominant in is like nurturing. Like I'm not aggressive by nature. Once I came to realize that I didn't have to be that if I was gonna like take that dynamic with someone, it worked a lot better. Caregiving is my jam, and I will, if somebody likes to be spanked, I'll spank them until they admit they're beautiful. Like that's the kind of thing you do, or that's the kind of thing I do. That's the way I try to spin it, is like I will give somebody who is a masochist or whatever, if they like to receive certain things, I want to provide that for them, and that's actually my biggest form of like excitement with it, is like I like to engage and indulge people in the things that they find really hot, and through doing that, like I'll pick up my own like enjoyments where I have like partner specific kinks. And I don't know if a lot of people do that, like when it comes to fetishes and kinks, but like, they tend to be partner specific for me, because what I really get into is providing people that kind of enjoyment. Sorry, that got...
You're great. No, like, what's going on is I'm distracted because it looks like some of this did not record. So we're going to have to go and edit and figure out what's missing. And anyway.
That's fine. And if you want to wrap up, I'm like okay with that too.
Are you tired?
I'm not tired. No, I'm not tired. If you want to keep talking, I just feel like I'm
keep talking. I actually haven't even said the thing yet. I haven't got to say it yet.
Oh shit, fuck.
I know.
Oh my god, I need to stop dominating.
No, it's not your fault. Like I say here and I think, and I'm like, I didn't say it last time. Okay. I just want to talk about this, the maxim of communism, right?
Okay, yes.
From each according to their ability, and to each according to their need. Right. And that's just how I live my life. Like, in every decision, I think about, like, I guess you have to use things like notions of fairness and equity and shit like that, right? And
yes.
like, but I think everyone can employ that. So I think everyone can do
right.
this program.
And, it's funny because like I love that, and like honestly, this is how like I am always in a juxtaposition with like my relationship with my father. Not really my relationship, that's solid, but like my view, I guess, or my perception of him, because like he is a diehard conservative in terms of his standing, what he stands on, or not what he stands on, but what he speaks on, and he's just spewing like freaking mouth garbage constantly, listening to conservative talk radio, fucking, what's his face before he died, the really insidious one, I don't know, he listened to that talk radio guy that was really bad that died like 2 years ago or something.
Talk radio guy that was bad? Rush Limbaugh?
Rush Limbaugh, yeah. My dad loved Rush Limbaugh. And, like, he just spews mouth garbage about politics constantly. And, like, if I hear too much of it, I fight with him. We've gotten really a lot better about fighting. But, like, I've been arguing about politics with my dad my whole life. He's the only person I can actually argue with, like, that I'll even, like, that I can actually, like, I've mastered it. I love arguing with my dad, but we don't even do it anymore. Anyways, but the reason why I can be close to him and why I can accept that he spews like mouth garbage that veers on quite like distasteful to me, but not outright bigoted. That's one thing I'll say. He's not like that, but like but anyways, is that he lives his life like a communist and he doesn't even know it. And I'm never gonna tell him, but like he is a person who he cares about his community. He does so much volunteering and charity work, and he organizes food drives, and he helps. He there's a homeless guy that like he's been buying breakfast for at McDonald's every day for like 20 years. He does what he can to help the people around him, and I know that while he has sometimes some discriminatory ideas about communities that he is unaware of, or unknowledgeable about, or when he doesn't know something, he doesn't necessarily want to know it or understand it, he's scared of it. But when faced with it, like when it comes down to it, he is like confronted with the reality of some kind of community or some kind of ideology or some kind of person that he's never encountered and doesn't understand, he'll approach it with honesty. Like he'll just do it. He'll just get to know somebody on their own merit and then judge and then make his own assessments based on individual interactions. That's the way to get to him. So it's funny that he like speaks like I'm such a conservative, but he does nothing but help people and share things and work with the community. And when it comes to his social values, some things he's very forward on, some things he's pretty backwards on, but he will never ever be like I know that no matter how I identify, no matter who I bring home or what kind of identity I choose to, I will never be disowned by my family for anything like that. I can be gay, straight, bi, trans, whatever it is. They may not understand it. They may not even take it seriously or give it much credence, but they will never ever turn me away for it. And he would not do that with any person, just on their identity, on that kind of thing alone. So socially, I could jive with him because I know he lives his life in a way that is more aligned with my values than he would ever expect. And I remember one time he was drunk and he was like, I have the idea to fix the United States medical system. And he laid out his idea to me, and it was exactly socialized back. Exactly. That's the thing. These people don't know. Sometimes the lack of knowledge really gets to me.
That is the thing that pisses me off. And because they follow someone they don't even know if their values are aligned or it's so stupid. Look at Trump shit. No one believes this, right? No one's we should have started a war with Iran. That seems reasonable, right? No, right. No one was thinking that before Donald Trump did it.
Yeah, and there's
these poor saps like my father and your father might follow that kind of bullshit,
Yeah, and I almost think it's better if you do come from a place of a lack of education or lack of formal knowledge about it. I still think that a lot of people have intuitive political or economic, I should say, understandings. This one's a communist. They don't really spout the ideas. They don't talk the words, but how they live.
What?
Like I said, you're a communist, and you may not identify that way, or just being somebody who believes in sharing resources, who doesn't want to hoard shit, who doesn't the money you make is to help people. The way you live your life is you're sharing. Whoever rolls with you isn't gonna go hungry if you're not hungry.
Life sucks by yourself.
Yeah.
Part of it is understanding that certain things are just human rights. Fucking, I don't know, food and shit. That should be a human right. Housing should be a human right.
Exactly, and
someone like me shouldn't be able to say that we should all be better.
Right. But yeah, it's real though, and that's why I always took to you so quick. Is once you were told that you were welcome in the space that you're welcome in, and then you really take that to heart, and you bring the people who need it to that spot. You started coming over to the space I was in, and then you had Chubbs, you had you had Risky, you had whoever needed that because they didn't have it, and there was a floor space, whatever, and that's how I always see it with the people that matter.
Your team only looks as good as the worst person does.
Yeah, exactly.
They don't care about the person that looks the best, they care about the person that looks the worst. That's what they hold your team standard to. And it's
isn't there
everybody eats before me.
Is utilitarianism there's a philosophy that kind of is modeled around that, where they make a group of people choose how society should run based on and they pick them anonymously, and basically so that the worst status, the worst class, the lowest possible, they try to base the society on what is the lowest possible caste society.
There is something like that. I can't remember what it is though.
Like I'm like, is that how utilitarianism is like the core of it? Like that, like
No,
it's
I don't
supposed to be
know if you
the laws of society are supposed to be written by people who don't know if they're going to end up given a status like that is high or low.
That is something else. Actually,
I come from a place where like, we're not very wealthy, and we have to make it a certain way, and we did. And I was one of the people that made the most with the lifestyle that I pressed. Everybody ate before me. I made sure that my friends had chains, clothes, everything. I was still in basketball shorts and a wife beater. But at one day, the day I did get to step out and put everything on that I wanted to put on, the whole team ate. Everybody was looking the same. Everybody looked the same. It's confidence in your people and bringing your team a confidence that they can't bring to themselves. Sometimes, man, just rocks the world. You could be the top of the top dogs.
Yeah, and to simplify it, it's simple. I love you can say, okay, teach a man to fish. Feed a man a fish. Yeah. He eats for one day. Teach a man to fish. He can eat for his whole life. Well, you know what? You can teach someone to fish. You can feed someone to fish while teaching them to fish, and it's a lot easier to learn new things when you're not starving.
Well, the thing that I think that
you can feed him and you can teach him.
The point is that if you teach a man to fish, you've already fed him for the day, so it's fine. Feeding them for the day is what you're supposed to do. If you teach them a skill, you just fed them for the day. It's fine.
Fed them more than a day.
The problem is you often need more than that, right?
Right, exactly. Yeah, absolutely. And and I think that I absolutely do think I think that all societies have roles, and I'm actually I'm kind of I would also align a little bit with council communism, because I do think that there's some value of having the people who work in the industry, having the means of production controlled by the workers, and I that's the aspect of communism.
Yeah, I think they're if we were ever to reboot society, there would have to be councils, but they would probably include people people that are politicians, that know how to get some things done. You know what I mean? We'd have to check them. Yeah, we got to check them, but they'd be a part of that too. But that would be short term. That's I'm just saying the council thing's only short term in communism. So
right, I do think I don't know. I think that it could a society could extend beyond that.
Power's too much for people.
Yeah,
you can't give people power.
Yeah, somebody's gonna. You could give somebody who thinks that power won't affect their head power, and it's gonna affect their head.
What do they say is almost the contradiction of the people that are probably best qualified to be in power are the ones who would never accept it.
Correct.
Yeah. And I think about that, and I'm no leader or anything, and I know that that would be my worst nightmare. If you ask me to run some shit, I don't want power. Power is kind of abhorrent to me. I hate it. I don't hate it. I see its utility. I see that it is an inevitability, that's the thing. Where can you even I can't even imagine any kind of human thing that doesn't involve power. So it's if you don't have it, somebody else is going to, and that's weird,
Power is something that you people want, and they want to press, but being a leader or having a leadership role in a style like that is just completely different.
Yeah, it is.
It's true leader is completely powerless because he's doing whatever the will of people or whatever the right thing is.
I'll give myself for the team any day of the week.
Yeah, and
not a question. I'll take everybody's pain if I can. If I could take the world's pain, I would. But and that's just the type of person I am. And I don't think I feel like I fall into a leadership role with our group or with the collective that we have. And it's just that's cool. I'm cool with that, but it's I'm not that because I feel like I'm a leader. I'm that just because in a moment where we might have to say left or right, and everybody's looking at everybody to see who's going to go left or right, I'm already screaming right. Yeah, and I'm making sure everybody's going right because my thing is just everybody comes home.
Yeah.
10 out of 10 times we're all coming home. And no one's coming. If somebody's not coming home, it's me. But everybody else is still getting home. I'll sacrifice it just so everybody gets home. Because home where the heart is.
That's what the true leadership I think is, and I
think the way we're structured is perfect in this way. I think borders, right, or lines, or whatever are dividing people. That's the problem. So we have this easy flow into my group and the people that I help. to you guys, and then your people that I don't even see ever, you know, like, and so it's just whatever it's fluid, like, there doesn't need to be these weird, borders.
Like coexisting is such an easy task, and people forgot about it.
The thing about Denver that has surprised me the most is actually like, I don't want to speak too much detail about it, but like the certain dynamics that I've seen, like with the lack of competition within that kind of whole thing that's happening. I've never seen that. Like being from California, there was a lot of gang control and like
politics. Politics are different.
Yeah, and I just like that, like the people who
safe.
Yeah.
People from places like that call it safe. We're safe here.
Yeah, there's like it's just
That's the way I described it when I went to Access Point. I was they took me to the intake, and I was like, I don't know how to behave in that situation, because I know, like, she sent me with Wookie, and she sent me talking to some other users and people that use needles and shit. But she was talking to me, and I was like, okay, well, here's why I'm here. I need to get needles. I didn't know what to say. I was like, I need to get needles so that I can help my friend. And she's like, that's totally okay. And then we went on, whatever. But it was a great conversation about harm reduction, and it had something to do with what Mandy was saying that I fucking can't. I forgot what I was talking about.
That's me getting the needles for everybody.
Yeah. They're actually really good at it. They can do it.
I get mad when I see people doing like not safely. It's like, if you're gonna do it, like, please be safe about it. Please just take care of yourself. Like, people don't understand, like, 10 years from now, if you change yourself and you become whatever you want to be in life, like, you're gonna, like, those things are affecting.
I mean, I would never encourage it.
I just want somebody to be safe.
But yeah, if you do it, you gotta get safer, you know, and like there's little rules that people don't know, and I've seen people get damage themselves because they didn't
I think the biggest thing,
like that you can't just keep using the same one, like, you know, like
a lot of things I like to tell my people is just like, I live a certain life, cool. I probably should be a person that shouldn't like the world. I love everybody. Every person I meet, I love, and I give them love, because my dad taught me one thing: you get it, like, respect is earned, not given, and that's that give and take in every relationship. I got to give you something when I meet you in order for me to get something back, and like that's where people mess up, because nobody wants to give first. Everybody forgot like empathy. Everybody forgets all that, and then like the big problem is different is not okay. So like when you're so real to yourself, and you walk around as like a real person, and everybody thinks you're different because everybody's just so used to fake. And that's like,
they never trust you because of it.
It's not even trusting. It's just like, it's different because, like, I don't know, I'm a very person, like, I walk in the room same way every time. I don't care. I'll stay 10 on myself, because I feel like if I don't have myself, what do I have? I'm all I got. So if I come in here 100 times the same way, somebody might think it's different because they're used to somebody coming in here on the 25th day and acting a fool.
That's what
or
I'm saying,
like, it's just like, it's very so like.
That's why people don't trust people, that kind of shit.
I give my trust for everybody. Like, I trust you so I can't trust you.
Exactly.
That's
exactly right.
And this one, like, I mean,
me and you, like, meeting, like, two, like, I don't know, like I was saying the other day, the problem thing, like, nobody's bigger than the program.
Yeah, like, nobody. I mean, like, you can't measure, like, I hate it when people try to compare trauma. Like, I mean, it's fine to compare it if you're trying to vent and talk or, like, process or whatever, but, like, trying to say that your trauma is worse than somebody else's, it's like, that's a subjective thing, so subjective that it's, like, impossible to, and it's kind of, like, insensitive, but, like, I've had a few people in friend groups that I've had that, like, were really, really, like, fixated on trying to, like, claim or prove that their trauma levels were higher and therefore they were more this or that or the other or whatever the fuck, like, or that they needed more sympathy or more attention or whatever. And I'm like, dude, same principle I learned when I worked on the crisis line, you know, like, a crisis is a crisis is a crisis is a crisis. You cannot rank that. I mean, we have to assess the level of danger in terms of what kind of help to bring them, but other than that, like, you can't say to anybody else what is a crisis to them, because it's all that subjective. Like, you know, losing a hairbrush could be somebody's crisis.
The day somebody breathes underwater is the day that we're different. We're all different. That's it. You bleed the same, we all breathe the same. We should treat each other with respect and just honor and, like, just stuff that, like, we don't have. And it's just, it's sad. It's sad. Maybe one day people hear the story about me, like, it's sad that came out of my mouth.
Oh, and, like, and that's interesting. Concepts like respect are very interesting to me, because, like, respect, what does respect mean? And that is also a subjective thing. You know, like, what everybody finds respectful.
Don't talk about your people.
Yes.
There's a lot of things you can say, right? So, like, one thing would be, like, not trying to influence you. Like, if you respect someone, you won't, like, try to,
And I've
make
seen
them
that
not
in
be
practice for
themselves
me.
or
That's what
whatever,
I think is all filtered through our own experiences,
Yeah.
and what we find disrespectful or respectful comes from who we are and our memories and who, the life we've lived, and it's different for everyone, and that's where it's frustrating that because sometimes you since it's all so broad and so subjective, you can accidentally disrespect somebody quite easily. And I'm learning to be more mindful, and I feel like it becomes less likely the more mindful you become, or the more I want to respect everybody, and I feel like I don't know how.
Y'all just coexist. If we coexist, we coexist.
Yeah.
If we don't, we don't. There's only two ways.
And we are back from our nice long break, so
Yes.
we went and got some food and other things, adult beverages. No, I'm just kidding.
Yeah, right.
No adult beverages.
No adult beverages.
Anyway, so just gonna try to wrap this up for you guys. We're heading into the 94th minute, and it's been a long one, and it's late, and actually the sun's about to come up, so.
Wow, yeah.
Anyway, so I don't know, politics. It just seems like to me that I don't understand Republicans, Democrats. I don't understand those people. What are they doing? What are they engaging in?
I know.
They all lie. It's like, what are they actually doing?
Yeah, I wish everybody would, or I should say, I hope that at some point we can all come together and realize that regardless of what we settle on, it's corrupt. It's like what's happening isn't working for anyone, really.
Legitimately, politicians, like the actual senators and congressmen in Washington, their job could be done by a college student in a few hours a week.
Yeah.
What are they really doing? I don't understand. You're adults, you're rational, intelligent people. Get together and fucking do the thing. Doesn't make any sense.
And there's just so many ways. It's all messed up and taking money from lobbyists and corporations are controlling everything. Everybody's in everybody's pocket and
But it's so weird too, because I would straight take the money and then do whatever I wanted. It might only work one time, but at least it's gonna work the first time, right?
I know, yeah.
You guys you guys want Israel to hang around and keep doing that shit? Cool, I'll take the $50 million, and then I'd be like, Israel's horrible.
Right? Yeah, it's the nicer version of what Trump is doing, essentially. He's just
the nice version of it, the opposite version of what he does. He took everyone's money thinking he was sane, and then went crazy.
Yeah, and then just went flagrant disregard for the Constitution, and law, and everything. But Mitch McConnell, man.
Is he alive?
I feel like he's died, maybe? No. But he just left office, though, I think.
No, he's been missing. That's the thing. Mitch McConnell's missing.
Holy shit.
He hasn't made a public appearance in 3 months.
That's crazy. Well,
Yeah.
I mean, he's the one who stacked the Supreme Court. That was absolutely his engineering, and that's what fucked us big time.
Fuck that guy. Mitch McConnell, if you're alive, fuck you, dude.
Yes.
If you're dead,
Rest in peace.
rest in piss. So serious about that. Anyway, we are coming up on the end here, so I see it coming up. So when you hear that sound, you'll know that the episode is coming to a conclusion. Any final thoughts?
Love each other.
Love each other. That's basically the thing. I guess you can't make some people care, That's the problem.
No.
But for those of you who do love each other, for sure. Come on.
Love humanity if you can't love each other.
What was that?
I said love humanity.
Love
if you can't
humanity?
love each other.
Yeah, I don't know. That's a Jesus thing. Love your neighbor, right? It's not that hard, all you Christians out there. You guys should be doing this shit anyway. You don't need me to tell you.
Yeah, it's Jesus is a pretty chill dude.
Pretty chill dude.
I'm not religious, but if it was all just Jesus, I'd be down. He'd chill.
There it is. All right. Thank you so much for listening to us, especially for those of you that stuck around for 95 minutes. We'll be back. We'll do this another time. And peace until then. And if Luther were here, he'd say, peace. Later, guys.